Hey everybody, it's Vanny Draws, and today I'm back with a new video, and it's actually not going to be drawing today. I am going to be doing some painting, and if you guys didn't know, which you probably didn't, I actually started out painting and not drawing. My grandma was the one who was always painting, and she got me into doing watercolors and acrylic and oil and all that type of stuff, but mostly watercolors. And I haven't done watercolors in quite a while, but I thought it'd be fun for you guys to see me kind of mess up and just have fun with some watercolors and maybe teach you guys a few tips and tricks and techniques. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is showing you everything that I have set out for my watercolors. So first, of course, is my palette. So this palette I actually just got for Christmas, and I actually love it so much because I wanted to get into doing more painting. And so I have all my colors set up, not really in a color wheel, which is bad, but that is what I have right now. And I always recommend to have a water. This cup's kind of ruined and crappy because my brother never washed it out, so it's got yellow all over it. A paper towel, so yeah, that's pretty self-explanatory. Paper, so this is the watercolor paper that I use. It's just a small pad right now, but it's the 140 pounds, and so watercolor paper is like categorized by the pounds, and 140 is always what I use. So this is just a little pad that I have. And next is paintbrushes. So these are the paintbrushes that I have set out right now, and these ones are actually just from the dollar store, but they're pretty half-decent quality for the dollar store. And then the rest of them, I actually don't remember where I got them. These 3 Artist Loft ones I got for Christmas or my birthday or something one year. I've had them for a really long time. But watercolor brushes, you want to make sure they are the pointed ones. So see how this one has the point at the end? That is how you want them to be, along with this one. These two aren't really watercolor brushes, they're more fan ones, flat brushes, but I am going to be using them anyways because I couldn't find any other brushes. I really probably need to buy some more. But yeah, so the first thing that I'm going to be painting is I'm going to show you guys how to go from pixelated into just like a molded type thing. You'll see once I get into it what I mean. But yeah, I'm going to get into that now. Oh, and one last thing before I actually start painting is I wanted to show you guys this, and I really hope it's in focus, but this is the watercolor book that I have, and it's got all the techniques that I've ever learned and about dry brush and blending and just different techniques of how to paint and like the color wheel, and I just find this book really helpful. So if you want to check it out, it's the Watercolor Artist Bible by Marilyn Scott. And yeah, I'm going to get into painting now. So I'm actually going to start with one of my smaller brushes and go in and start doing some of the pixels. So as most people know, pixels are just small little squares, just like that. And they should be pretty thin, like you don't want them to look too thick, otherwise they don't have enough water in them. So I am using watercolors from a tube, but you can also get watercolors in like, oh, I don't know what it's called. One of those just like little palette things that just has the watercolors right in it. But I use the tubes because I've had them for a really long time, and that is just what I own. Okay, so now I'm actually going to go into doing the not the pixels, the part where it just molds into kind of a mixture. I'll probably do more pixels again after and define them a bit more. But how I'm gonna start with this is I'm gonna take a bigger brush. I'm gonna take this one, and I'm gonna take this color that I had here with, actually no, I'm gonna start with the water. And I'm going to pull it out and see how you can see how the color starts to bleed. I'm just going to grab a bit of it and then drip it in there and start pulling the color out, and then where the other colors come from, well actually I'm going to add more water first. So this part you need a lot of water so that the colors will kind of all mold together. I'm going to start with just all this pink and just kind of create how I want and where I want the water to go. Or you could also just drop it and then kind of, all depends how you want it to look. Okay, so then I already have my color kind of started. So I'm going to take yellow and go with yellow from over here. I'm going to go from blue up here, kind of the blue side coming in over here. And the darkest blue at the top up here because you don't really see much of that. And then I'm just going to continue to keep doing that. Okay, so now this is also where the paper towel comes in handy. I have a lot of paint that hasn't dried yet, and there's some places where I want to kind of fix up this shading. So I'm just going to pick up a lot of the non-dried paint yet. And so see how it looks a lot lighter, and then my paper towel is very wet. So now I'm going to go back over it, just to fix up some of the areas. And sometimes also what I do is I just like to let the watercolor bleed. So I just place a lot of water into that one area and then kind of let it go where it wants to. Oh, and one other thing, never leave your paintbrushes in the water, especially with watercolor paints, because that is not good. Okay, so here is the complete product. So I redefined some of the pixels and I added some more to my color blob. And I really hope you guys liked that. I can't really do any more, I realized, until it dries. So, I think what I'd like to show you how to do next is how to just focus more on this, how to place color and pick it up if need be. See how that's running in there? I don't really like that. So I just pick it up slightly, but I'm going to let this dry and then we will come back and I will show you guys how to do that. Okay, so now I am all done. It is all dry and we can move on to the next part. So, what I am known, or people know me to be best at for watercolor, is doing these weird blobs that just look really cool. So I thought I would show you guys how I do it. So like I did before, how I start is I just place water all over the page. Not any particular way, sometimes I drip it, sometimes I just, yeah, so it kind of just is like that. And I really can't see where I put the water, so when I put the paint down, it's a bit of a surprise. Okay, so next I take my base color, and for this I'm just going to use this kind of purpley blue color, and that is what I do. And I just put it down in several places, but not too much because that ruins it. And I'm sorry, that was my phone going off. It's really loud and annoying, isn't it? Well, and then take it and I kind of just mold it around, but I don't mess it up too much from what it originally was. Okay, this is too much water. Okay, so right now to me it kind of looks like a spirally sun, and so I'm actually going to take yellow then and add it in a few places, and take my water again and just kind of blend it in. So it's going to be different each time you do this depending on how you place the water and where you put the paint, and also what colors you use, but it creates a unique painting each time, which I find is fun. So and that is basically how I make my blobs. And then normally what I will do is I will wait till it dries, and then I will go over it with a white jelly roll pen. And so I'm just going to show you a few of my other watercolor pieces that I have done like this once I move this out of the way, because I do not want to ruin my other ones. So what I normally do, so this is my portfolio by the way, but here's two of some other ones. So this is actually my first one I did. This eye, and I hope it's in frame. So it's this eye, and I hope you guys can see it. And then another one I did was this earth. Hope it's not glaring. But yeah, those were two I did last March, I believe? Yeah, last March. So almost a year ago now. But I used to love doing things like that. And if you guys like this video and like my blobs, I will hope that you give this tutorial a thumbs up. Tutorial, not really, but my fun little watercolor experiment, since I haven't done watercolors in almost a year. That was the last time I did watercolors, in March. But I hope you guys like this video, and I hope to some degree you found it helpful. And I also hope that you subscribe. And let's say if we get 5 thumbs up on this video, I will do another watercolor painting for you guys with my blobs and my white jelly roll pen. So I will see you guys in the next video. 'Cause if you like
the way you look that much. Oh baby, you should go and love yourself.